Hey guys, it's Tehi. We're going to do another video. We're doing logs and we're going to focus on reviewing deaths. One of the biggest things that I've learned over, raid leading for almost a decade now, in like 6 months from now it's going to be a decade, is sometimes as a raid leader you can be very quick to jump the gun as to why someone died. And it's super important to ask them what happened, ask them what they need help with, if anything, and have them explain to the raid like what potential unfortunate series of events occurred that forced them to die. Now that's not going to happen every single time. Sometimes people are just going to, stink at the game, make a mistake, and die. But there are going to be bad overlaps that are going to happen, and it's important to take a little bit of time in between pulls and just have the person that died explain like, yeah, I had this and then I had that and then I had this and then I played it like this and it obviously didn't work out and I died. And then it can be like, did you hit a personal? Yes or no? You take that answer, you run with it. Healthstone, healthpot, you take that answer, you run with it. And then that's like a message to your entire raid team if you're trying to like make your prog be more efficient and kill bosses in as few pulls possible, to tell them like, hey, if you get that nasty double combination, that triple combination, like this is your warning to hit a defensive, to get ready to use health pot healthstone, to get ready to do whatever you might need to do. Because if you're trying to have efficient prog, pull bosses fast, and kill bosses fast, that's one of those things where you can't have 20 people make that mistake and get that bad overlap. You need to help your raid learn together how to deal with all of these things. And logs are also super helpful, but just talking with your raid team is super helpful. But when it comes to logs, raid's over. We had problems tonight. Let's go over and let's see what's going on here. So we're obviously going to go look at deaths. And okay, first death is a big hit. He got a 164 million big hit. So obviously something bad happened here. No defensive in the world was going to save him from this, shy of a bop, I guess. And I'm not even sure if bop prevents the big hit from actually hitting you. So whatever. But no amount of demon spikes or meta or anything was going to make him survive. So obviously something went wrong here. He definitely should. He already had the debuff of big hit on him because he took this much damage, or his gear's broken, but that's probably not the case. So let's go ahead and look at what happened here. So what we want to do first is we want to go look at debuffs, and we're going to go to the big hit, and it's going on these two tanks. In Mythic OAB, yes, it random DPS, range DPS gets, or ranged healer gets a big hit too, but it doesn't put a debuff on them. So you don't have to like go through these logs and go find, sift through your tanks, through your healers, through your ranged DPS or whatever it might be. So we can see here that the first taunt swap went correctly, and obviously the second taunt swap or no taunt swap occurred for this to have happened. So we can go and look at that. So we're gonna add both of these to a chart. Gonna put them both in main. And the most likely scenario for this is going to be there was a bad taunt swap or no taunt swap. So we can go and do that. So we're gonna go to Grim. We're gonna go to what's Torment, right? And we can see these taunts here. We're gonna add this, then we're gonna put it in the main. And now we're gonna have to go to our other tank. And DK taunt is Dark Command, but they can also taunt using Death Grip. So he's just using Death Grip here. He's using Grip on the Real Assistance as well. We don't care about those taunts, so we're just gonna go here. We're gonna add this to the main as well. Get rid of Marcus, and now let's go to Summary. These ones right here we can get rid of because they're just in our way. So let's make this a little bit more pretty for everyone. So let's say that the Vengeance Demon Hunter's debuff is purple, and then the Bullet DK's debuff is going to be red. Great. This just helps me visualize things better. By no means do you have to do this, but this is super helpful for me. And then we're gonna go ahead and say his taunts are this weird monk green looking color, and Marcus's taunts are going to be yellow. Again, I'm a very visual person. this helps me. So now we can see these large bars, which is the debuff duration of the big hit on each tank. Again, purple is the Vengeance Demon Hunter, red is the Blood DK. And then we can also see when did they taunt. So again, the green is the Vengeance, the yellow is the Blood DK. So what we can see here is this big hit went out. Marcus did taunt, right? So he taunted as soon as the big hit went on Grim. Debuff goes off shortly after. And then we look here, he still has a debuff. Next big hit obviously is here because he ends up dying right here. But he taunts before that big hit actually comes out. So he taunted too early. Now, there's a couple different things here. Could Marcus have helped him out? Could Marcus have recognized, like, hey, the boss isn't on me anymore? Which, as a tank, if you do not have something in your target frame, in your, like, the mob you're actively tanking, in this case it's only OAB, that has in your frame, yes, I have aggro. It is on me right now, or it's on my co-tank, or it's on this other person it's not supposed to be on. You definitely should, for situations like this. You should also recognize that, like, hey, I'm not getting hit. My health isn't going down. Obviously, that's not going to be potentially always the thing, because sometimes you get hit and you just don't take any damage because of those orb shields or whatever it might be. But, like, yes, Grem taunted too early here. Could have Marcus helped him out? 100%. Most of the blame is going to fall on Grim here because he taunted too early. But I would strongly recommend, if you are a tank, to have something in your target panel that says, like, yes, if my name is Tehi and I'm tanking OAB, the one-arm bandit, arrow, Tehi, it says my name right next to OAB that says it's on me. If it's on my co-tank, so let's say my co-tank is Marcus in this scenario. The one-arm bandit, arrow, Marcus. So I know it's not on me, it's on my co-tank, whatever it might be. One small thing you can do. Now that's just, we spent like 5 minutes just talking about this one death, but this is, you don't want to point the finger at anyone before you start looking at this kind of stuff, is what I wanted to get through. There's also other deaths we can go and look at. And one of the biggest things that, like, I as a raid leader would really tell my raiders to do, and I do this myself, and I, like, put this in our personal Discord boss channel so that they know this, or I say it before we pull the boss even once, is I go look at another guild that is currently progging the fight because we haven't pulled it yet, or we have, you know, maybe the last 20 minutes of pulls that night for it, and I tell them, like, hey, if you're going to die, it's going to be from this, or it's going to be from this, or it's going to be from this. For one-arm bandit, most of the deaths are going to come from the tornadoes, or you don't get dispelled fast enough. So for me, it was like, hey, if you know you're going to get hit by a tornado, you have to pop something, or you have to make sure you're full health, or whatever it might be, because before the last round of nerfs, those tornadoes hit like a truck. If you get the dispel on you, you have to stop what you're doing, run to the dispel spot, hit a personal, don't screw around. It's not worth dying to, because that debuff hits like a Mack truck as well. So that's all personal responsibility stuff. There's also other things that, like, we look here, overload. This is just a missed kick. So this is raid-wide damage. Someone did not interrupt, and you probably have interrupt set up for this fight. So that goes down to the person who didn't kick. Failed to tell someone that either they were dead and someone needs to cover for them, or they just themselves missed the kick. There's foul exhaust, which is the slow and healing absorb. So if you have foul exhaust coming out, that's like, okay, I absolutely cannot get hit by anything, because if I get hit by something and I take extra damage, the healers can't heal me because they got to heal off the healing absorb first. So if I know foul exhaust is on me and I get hit by something I'm not supposed to, or I'm about to be, I got to get that debuff off me myself by using healthstone or health pot and just sacrificing it right then and there. I think that's tremendously important to do, which brings up to my point, weak auras. And there's going to be a separate video on weak auras to show, like, how I feel like some people don't use weak auras as well as they should be. Weak auras are there to help you understand what's going on to your character right then and there, or what's about to happen. And if you don't have your weak auras set up in a spot where you can see them and they can help you, then you might as well not even have them. So we're going to go over that in a different video, but it's super important that you are watching those kinds of things, because the weak auras are there to help you improve your gameplay and help you understand what's happening to you right then and there, or what's about to happen to you. So if you're not using them as efficiently as you should be, that is a very small thing and a very easy fix that will help you become better at the game right there. So we can go and look, like, for example, let's just look at Veltha. So he dies to the Dispel along with the Foul Exhaust and stuff like that. He uses Dark Pact, but it is back up at this point. And if we go to healing and we just go to him, we can see he used both Healthstone and Health Pot already at this point in the fight. And if we go look here, we can see he didn't use Unending Resolve. So he still had it, but even though he still had it, the important thing is, like, okay, he didn't use Unending Resolve, he just died. That's on him. Well, he died within 1 second of getting the debuff on him. So, yeah, could he have? Sure. Was it going to save his life? I don't know. The bigger thing was, like, a kick got missed, and that's kind of what set him so far behind. He went from 78 to 39, so he lost literally half his health at this point in time, which just set him up to be in a bad spot for the Foul Exhaust, and then obviously the Dispel following. So don't be quick to point fingers at people. Slow it down. Let's make sure we're not going to go wrongfully blame people or be overly harsh about deaths like that one. There are going to be some deaths where it's like, yeah, you had that debuff for 5 seconds, man. You didn't do what you had to do. You could have used this. You could have used that. And those are the ones that you should be bringing up to your players, or you should be critical on yourself about. But one that's like, hey, you died within a second, and you got set up because someone else made a mistake, and I assume he's not the kick person, so we're just going to assume it's someone else made a mistake. Like, don't be overly harsh on those people. The last thing that I want to show is you can go to all wipes. So you can look at all pulls, and if there was a kill here, it would say, like, 32 wipes with 1 kill, so it'd be 33 pulls total. And you can go see, like, how many people died at what frequency and to what. Now, I don't think this is that helpful. So what I personally like to do is, I'm not seeing it right now. Maybe it's not here anymore. Oh, there it is. I'm blind. So ignore player deaths after how many people have died. So you can go to this ignore events after player deaths, and let's just say it's 2. So what this is going to show you is who were the first 2 people to die. So what this says is, in the first 32 pulls, Chums died 11 times. In the first 32 pulls, he died 11 times, and of those 11 deaths, he was he was the first or second person to have died. Feints, 9 different pulls, he was the first or second person to have died, and just go on that down like that. You can change this number. Obviously, I normally just do it at 2 or 3, because that's normally, like, once you lose 2 or 3 people, you're probably not going to kill, especially unless it's like super late in the fight. So that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to show is we can actually look at casts by people. And let's say, like, hey, I want to know how frequently did Avon Druid hit Barkskin. So in 32 pulls, he hit Barkskin 18 times. You can go and see, like, how frequently people are using Bark, how frequently people are using Healthstone and Healthpot. And you can take, with Healthstone and Healthpot, the better thing to do is, like, Algari Healing Potion, and go to this. You can see this very easily. You can go to Healthstone, see this very easily. And one of, like, the biggest things that I have experienced over the time of being a raid leader is people just don't hit Healthstone and Healthpot enough. People are too afraid to hit it. If you are not the raid leader listening to this right now, why are you afraid to hit it? Don't be afraid to hit it. Hit it if you need to hit it. Hit it if you're afraid, because it's better to build that muscle memory of hitting it, even when it's not a, hey, I'm in danger of dying here, because you're getting another one the next pull. So why are you so afraid? It's the same thing with using your personal defensives. Why are you so afraid of hitting your wall? Like, part of preparing, and I've had a request from a couple people in my raid team of, like, hey, how do I personally prepare for a fight for myself, not as a raid leader, is planning out my defenses as best as I can. And that'll be a different video. But you as a player trying to get better, you as a raid leader trying to help an individual or your entire raid team get better. The things in this video are to demonstrate to you, like, hey, we can learn from these logs about how to get better. And it's not gonna, like, this is not to help you get better at doing damage. It helps you by doing more damage by just surviving. And quite honestly, like, when it comes to like parsing and doing big damage, which we'll get to in another video down the line, it's about movement. It's about understanding how to play your class correctly, and getting lucky to like get a rank 1. Like that's a big one. It's like you kind of have to get a little lucky. So, anyways, thanks for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something. If you have anything you personally want to learn about for yourself or for your raid team, I'm happy to take any ideas and make a video out of them. And especially like if you have a log that you want me to go over for a particular reason, you can put it in the comments. I'll take a look at it. Just tell me what you want to know, and I can go through it for you. So thank you for your time, guys. Have a good day.